Hi, my name is Dick Sappler. I'm the Senior Research Analyst here at the Aberdeen Group, managing the storage and virtualization practice. Welcome to this vodcast by the Aberdeen Group and sponsored by Quorum, a provider of backup, recovery, and cloud computing products and solutions. Today's vodcast is entitled, Why Mid-Sized Companies Should Consider Disaster Recovery from the Cloud. Let's get started. Here at Aberdeen, we have a large community of end users that we survey to find their real-world experiences with deploying certain technologies. From the survey responses, we identify what we call the best in class and look to see why they're getting greater financial and operational returns from their technology investments. This report is as a result of a survey I conducted on disaster and recovery in February of this year. I had 136 organizations of all sizes tell me of their experiences with disaster recovery. We then cut the data by enterprise size. Small companies, those that have under 100 employees, mid-sized, who have between 100 and 1,000 workers, and large enterprises with more than 1,000 employees. And what we found was that DR has the largest impact on mid-sized companies. Every company should do the math that's on this slide to understand what a rational budget would be for their disaster recovery solutions. If the cost of disaster recovery is high, then an investment in DR technology, such as deploying to the cloud, could pay for itself in as little as one prevented downtime event. As you can see from the number of downtime events, that's highest for the mid-sized companies, twice the number of small companies, and 17% even greater than the large enterprises. The length of downtime also hurts mid-sized companies greatly, 72% longer than small companies, and 375% longer than large enterprises. When you multiply this all out with the average cost of an hour of downtime, you see how disproportional the impact of DR is on mid-sized companies. The key variable in this equation is the length of downtime events, as that contributes about 65 to 70% of the cost of this data point. We then cut our data and segmented it into two data analysis groups, those that use disaster recovery from the cloud and those that entirely depend on their own infrastructure to house their recovery assets. For this analysis, we used the average cost of downtime for all survey respondents, as there are small, mid-sized, and large companies represented in all survey groups. The first column of the table shows the normalized response you would expect to see from the total set of survey respondents, 2.5 DR events times 2.3 hours, and the average DR impact is almost $800,000 in negative costs per year. When we look at the results for those who just use cloud for their DR infrastructure, we see an entirely different picture. They have fewer events, and this is primarily because they can test their failover technology so much more easily in the cloud than in their own internal infrastructure. And much faster recovery times from their data as it's already backed up and stored in the cloud. You can see how cloud users really benefited when compared to those who use their own infrastructure to manage their disaster recovery programs. So the key findings from this research: small and especially mid-sized companies are greatly affected by the negative impact of computer and data center downtime. However, one group has avoided these impacts, those that are using the cloud for their DR protection and recovery. One key advantage we found in our research is that having your DR programs based in the cloud allows you to easily test your failover programs. And we found that companies with the most successful programs tested, and regularly retested their DR processes. Do the math and learn what a rational investment is for your DR prevention in your company.